In this video, I'll show you how to connect your Android phone to your new Pioneer in-dash receiver using Pioneer's Smart Sync app. Even though your particular in-dash receiver may or may not have a built-in CD player, the button and on-screen operation in this demonstration is identical for the following Pioneer in-dash receiver models: MVHS 310BT, MVHS 312BT, MVHS 512BS, DEHS 4100BT, DEHS 4120BT, DEHS 5100BT, DEHS 5120BT, DEHS 6100BS, DEHS 6120BS. What software do I need to make the Pioneer Smart Sync app work on my in-dash receiver? Let's start with the in-dash receiver. Go to pioneerelectronics.com and download and install the latest firmware update for your particular in-dash receiver. Your Android phone will need version 5.0 or higher of the Android operating system. Go to the Google Play Store and search for Pioneer Smart Sync. Look for this icon in the store. Smart Sync is a free app from Pioneer. Download and install the Pioneer Smart Sync app on your phone. So I've got the latest firmware installed on my Pioneer in-dash receiver from pioneerelectronics.com, and I've got the Smart Sync app installed on my phone. Here you can see I have the Smart Sync app there. And one more thing we need to do before we get started, and that's make sure that we have a Bluetooth connection from the phone to the in-dash receiver. So you can see here I have the Bluetooth connection. I can see the Bluetooth logo lit up there, and if I touch the telephone button here, that tells me that's the Pixel 2, that's this phone here. So let's go back. So now let's check a couple of settings on the in-dash receiver to make sure we're all set up and ready to go. So I'm going to, from any source here, I'm going to touch in on the volume control, and I want to roll along here until I find the System menu. Here's System, and we'll press Enter. And I want to roll along here until I find App Control. App Control. There we go. There's App Control. That's the one we want. And we'll press Enter here. Now this comes from the factory set up for a wired connection over to the phone for the Smart Sync app. But in this case, I want to set up as a Bluetooth connection, and we'll go back later in the video and I'll show you how to do the wired connection. So we want the Bluetooth connection, and just press Enter to confirm. And as you can see, the in-dash receiver and the phone begin to communicate, and it powers up the Smart Sync app on the phone, and I can just say OK to the caution there, and the Smart Sync app has been connected. Now let's go back to the in-dash receiver and check a couple more settings to make sure that we're all set up here. We're on App Control, and we chose the Bluetooth connection. That's good. So let's turn past App Control to USB MTP. Since I'm using a Bluetooth connection with my Android phone, I'm going to switch USB MTP off, and we'll roll over to the next setting, which is Auto App Connection. That means automatically start the app when the phone and the in-dash receiver see one another. Now, I have my choice here. I can switch this on or off when I open that window. If you don't want the app to start automatically, you can switch it off. I like the app to start by itself, so we're going to switch that on for right now, and I'll confirm that. And then let's roll over to the next setting, which is USB Auto On. Now I'm not using a USB connection right now, but I can. And if I want to plug in my phone just to charge it, I want to switch USB Auto Off. So USB Auto On means that whenever I plug something in through USB, like a USB thumb drive or a phone, the in-dash receiver is automatically going to switch to that source and begin to play a track. If you don't want that to happen, you can switch it off, and this will allow you to plug in your phone and just charge your phone without automatically switching that source. For right now, I'm going to set USB Auto to On. And we'll roll over to the next setting, which takes us back around to the language setting, so that's all we need to do. Now let's check a couple of settings on the phone to make sure we're set up to work with the in-dash receiver. So from the phone screen here, I'm going to touch the gears, and the first thing I want to check is my navigation setting. So we'll touch navigation, and installed on my phone I have two different nav apps. I have Google Maps and I have Waze. Now when I touch the navigation button here on the in-dash receiver, I can choose to start Waze, or I can choose to start Google Maps or some other navigation applications that I may have installed on the phone. All I have to do is move the check mark to the one I want. I want that to start Waze when I touch the navigation button, and I want my voice guidance on so I get turn-by-turn instruction while I'm driving. Let's go back now, and let's check the messaging app. We'll touch message here, and I have WhatsApp Messenger is one of my available apps for that, so I'll put a check mark there, and that will become my messaging app for the SmartSync app. And we can go back, and we'll touch the X to go out to the main screen. One more thing I want to set up here is my sources. So I'm going to touch my source information here, and then touch the music notes. And here are my available sources for the in-dash receiver. I have the radio, the music app that plays back from my phone. I have Pandora and Spotify and auxiliary input, Bluetooth audio, and I can choose to switch the system off. But if I touch the plus button down here, if I have some other available apps, I can add them into the system as well. So let's just put a check mark beside some of these apps. And now let's go back, and you'll see that the apps that I added in here are now available as sources for the in-dash receiver. And for right now, let's go back to the radio. If I touch the navigation button right here on the in-dash receiver, that starts up the Waze app on my phone, and I can get turn-by-turn instruction from Waze. But now I have the Waze app on my phone, and I want to get back to the SmartSync app. How do I do that? It's really easy. Just press and hold the volume control for a couple of seconds, and that will bring us back to the SmartSync app. Now, as you can see, the SmartSync app did not automatically connect to the in-dash receiver this time. So how do I get the two to connect? It's very easy. Just press and hold the volume control for a couple of seconds, and that will fire up the SmartSync app. Okay, so we have the SmartSync app operating through Bluetooth from the phone to the in-dash receiver, but maybe I want to operate this thing with a wired connection. So let's check out the wired connection settings. I'm going to touch in on the volume control, and I want to go to the system menu, and I want app control, and under app control I want the wired connection. We'll confirm the wired connection there. You can see as soon as we confirm the wired connection, the phone says it has lost connection with the in-dash receiver. That's okay. So now I'm just going to plug my phone in through USB. Now this is a Pixel phone, and it uses a USB-C type of connection. So I'm going to plug that into the bottom of the phone. And the other end here is a USB-A connection, so I'm going to plug that into the receiver. And you can see that the system automatically changed to the USB source and started up the app. Let's go back into that settings menu and make sure that we have everything ready to go for the wired connection. So we'll touch in on the volume control, and we want the system menu. And let's roll past app control to USB MTP. We want that switched off to use the app. USB MTP is off. And we'll roll over to the next setting. Auto connection to automatically start the app. You saw as soon as I plugged the phone in through USB, the phone and the in-dash receiver found each other and started up the app because we have the auto connection set to on. If you don't want that to happen, make sure you switch it off right here. I like that. That works that way, so we'll leave it switched on. There we go, and we'll go back. And we'll roll over to the next setting, which is USB auto on. And again, that means when I plug the phone in or a USB thumb drive into the USB port, the system will automatically switch to that source and begin to play a track. If you you don't want that to happen, you can choose to switch this off, in which case it will only charge your phone. It won't automatically switch to that source. You can switch to that source whenever you want. For right now, I'm going to leave USB auto set to on, and we'll roll over to the next setting, which is back around to our language selection, and we can press the band button to escape.